What are the easiest online businesses you can start? Well, that's a question that I asked Pamela Wilson last week during my Zoom interview with this online business expert. Now, Pamela coaches people in mid-career. She's an online educator. She's a 3-time author. She's a keynote speaker, and she's the founder of PamelaWilson.com. And in this video, Pamela is going to be telling us about what she says are the 3 easiest online businesses that you can start. Now, after listening to her, if you think starting an online business is for you, then you're going to want to get my free side hustle starter kit. My kit, it walks you through the 8 first steps of launching your very own side hustle. And you can get my free side hustle starter kit just by clicking on the link in the description box. Come on! Welcome back to Side Hustle Rules. Again, my name is Lou Reyes, and today, as I mentioned before the break, I'm with Pamela Wilson. Pamela is an online business expert, and she works with people who are in mid-career. And I think that's your specialty, isn't it, Pamela?
Oh, that is my favorite group of people to work with because people in mid-career have acquired so much expertise. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty easy to build an online business based on that expertise. I love it.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about it is it really makes sense for somebody who is in mid-career to monetize their experience. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that. And I'm so glad, that's why I'm glad you're here to talk about that. But one thing we did say we're going to talk about is some of the easiest businesses to start online, or I should say online businesses to launch. Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sure.
I think one of the easiest things to offer is coaching or consulting. A lot of us at this age have built up expertise that others find really valuable. And so whether or not you are coaching one-on-one with someone, or you're going into a business and consulting and helping them with your knowledge, those are really easy businesses to set up because all you need to do is describe what it is that you help people with, give them a place to pay you and a place to book an appointment with you. And that's it. You've got a basic online business ready to go.
Well, give me an example of someone that you've worked with who created a coaching business. What kind of a service were they offering?
I have worked with so many people who ended up offering this kind of thing. One person who comes to mind offers nutritional coaching. She has a lot of experience in that space and offers nutritional coaching online. So during the pandemic years, she was able to help people all over the world with nutritional coaching, even, virtually from where she was. So yeah, that worked out great for her.
So let me get into a little bit into the details or into the weeds on this nutritional coaching. Was she coaching for like an hour or 2 hours, or was it 10 minutes? I mean, give me some time length on that.
Yeah, that's a great question. So she would coach for about an hour and do kind of an assessment before she started to work with a person so that she would better understand where they were, which, by the way, that is something I recommend to anyone. If you're doing any kind of coaching or consulting, see if you can create like a baseline assessment and just like create it once, and then you can use it with every client and have them do a little bit of self-evaluation so that you can kind of hit the ground running in your first meeting, because otherwise the first meeting is a lot of, so tell me about this and tell me about that. And and if you create this evaluation, it also makes you look super organized, right? If you have this evaluation based on the common questions that you would normally ask in a first meeting, people enjoy filling that out. People love to talk about themselves. We know this, right? So this is a way for them to share something about themselves, and it gives you some great information that I find a lot of times when I get those assessments, I start thinking about the person's business or thinking about their situation. And then I show up to the coaching or consulting kind of with some ideas already in mind that might be ready to share. So it's a great way to get a head start.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's going to save time. And like you said, it is a great way to get a head start. So let's talk about another business, another online business that is easy to start. Can you give us another idea?
Yeah, one thing that people ask about a lot is courses. There are a lot of
Mm.
people who sell courses about creating courses, right? So you just kind of see that in the online space a lot, where people are saying you're an expert on something, you should create a course about it, right? And I don't disagree with that. However, the problem that I see is a lot of people create these very elaborate courses before they've even tested their course idea with the market of people who they want to serve.
Yeah.
So, what I recommend, when we've spoken about online business being iterative, I recommend that you start with something really small and really simple. And that could look like using Zoom and gathering a group of 4 or 5 people and just teaching them live on Zoom. And what's beautiful about that is it's very low tech. I think at this point, all of us know how to use Zoom, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the technology is very, easy. It's an easy entry point. You can have Zoom record the sessions. So you do have this asset once you're done
Mhm.
with it. And it's it's to be recommended because you're getting direct feedback from the people you're helping. So if anything you're teaching seems confusing to those people, you're going to know about it right away because they're sitting in front of you in the Zoom room.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons that I recommend, if you are drawn to this idea of creating a course, make sure you test a tiny version, simple, easy to do version first before you put all the elaborate technology and all the time and energy behind creating something that maybe you haven't tested, right?
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea as a way to test your concept. But can you charge? Is it something that if you're doing a Zoom, I guess a webinar, and obviously you could tell I haven't done it, but can you charge for that 4 or 5 people that you're training?
Absolutely.
My favorite
Absolutely.
word. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can totally charge. So again, we go back to this idea of, there's something to be recommended for when you're thinking about pricing, thinking about your pricing in stages and kind of having a strategy. Like when I come out of the gate with this brand new offer, whatever
Hmm.
it is, whether it's a course or coaching or whatever, I'm going to have an introductory price, right? And my
Yeah.
introductory price is going to be less than what I plan to charge in the long run. I
Hmm.
give people a formula, and it's basically, without getting too into the math of it, if your regular price that you would like to charge eventually is X,
Hmm.
then your introductory price is X divided by 2. So it's basically half of what you want to charge eventually, right?
Sure.
And you call it your charter members, your founding members, your pilot program. Don't call it your beta program because beta sounds like they're not going to get any value. So
Yeah.
call it something and tell people, I'm excited to work with this initial group and I can only take 4 or 5 people, put some kind of a limit on seats
Hmm.
and then charge and tell people my plan is to charge $1,000 for this course, but you can get in now for only 500 because it's you're going to be my founding members or you're the charter members of this course. So again, it's kind of all positioning and how you talk
Yeah.
about it, but you can definitely charge.
Now, how do they market that?
Well, this is the cool thing about, I'm so glad that's like the perfect question to ask because this is one of the great things about doing this in a way that's iterative because, even just to put this basic course out there that's low tech, you still have to market it to get people in the door. So
Sure.
you are also testing your marketing message. You're testing your course concept, but you're testing your marketing message at the same time. And it's an opportunity to just see what language works and what kind of offer, maybe even the name of your course that you're creating or your coaching program. You're testing that as well, right?
Hmm.
So you're sort of testing all the things. You're testing the offer itself and you're testing the offer marketing when you do this initial run of it. And
Yeah.
you gather so much information. It's just amazing how much information you gather by doing these small tests.
So let's talk about one more. I guess we're talking about an easy online business to start.
So I think the other easy one that you can start is any kind of service-based business. So a lot of people watching may have had some kind of service-based business in the past. And it's a matter of maybe bringing that service online and getting a little bit creative about how you offer it online. Coming from the world I come from, I was a graphic designer for many years. And there are people who have a design background that just offer branding. They offer online branding to people, and they have clients all over the world. So that's an easy example of something that would maybe be an offline service or something. I know someone, for example, who's an events planner and has an online presence, and obviously that turns into an offline presence because they're there at the event they helped to plan, but their online presence and their online business is where they book those new clients. And sometimes they're organizing virtual events as well. So sometimes it's all online.
Well, Pamela, I'm so glad that we had a chance to sit and talk today. And every single time I sit down with you, I learn, and I'm really believing that our viewers, people who are watching us here on YouTube, are going to learn a lot too.
Thank you so much, Lou. It's always fun to talk to you, and it's always fun to talk about these things. If you are watching and you have a question, just drop it below, and I'll be checking comments. I'm happy to answer any follow-up questions you may have.
Pamela, once again, I want to thank you for being with us, and I'm looking forward to getting together with you again soon.
Sounds great, Lou. Thank you.
Come on.